To understand one's life, you must acknowledge and understand where they've been. Take a second to think about what it would be like to live and work in New York City, the greatest city in the world one day, and become a member of the greatest Air Force the world has ever known the next. Hello, my name is Marquis Wilson, and tonight I will give you a brief introduction and look into my life, from the early days living in the Big Apple to life as I know it today serving in the military. After this briefing, you will have an idea of what it was like growing up in New York City, my days attending Lehman College in the Bronx, and the best decision I've made so far in my life, making the choice to join the United States Air Force. Let's begin with where it all started, the city that never sleeps. I was born in Harlem Hospital on 31 August 1976 to the proud parents of Joyce and Horace Wilson. We lived just 2 blocks away from the place of my birth in a section called Lenox Terrace for the next 10 years. Harlem in the mid-80s became a dangerous area to raise a family, so my parents decided to move further uptown to the Inwood Park section of Manhattan to feel more secure and to have a better quality of life. The decision to move to that part of the city turned out to be a wise choice. The memories I have growing up on 207th Street and Sherman Avenue are too many to count, and I can always look back and relive great childhood memories. Now that you have an idea of my upbringing, we can now move into the discussion of my college years at Lehman College in the Bronx. After graduating from Bronx Science High School, I applied and was accepted to Lehman College, just minutes away from the high school I attended. While at Lehman, I played multiple sports, including baseball, basketball, and racquetball. I enjoyed the freedom and responsibility college life offers to students, much different than any level of schooling I had experienced up until that point. Your success or failure, for the most part, falls on your shoulders, the person carrying the books to class every day. No one is hounding you to go to class or study for exams. You either want it or you don't. At the time, I wasn't fully committed and decided to leave school before graduation day and pursue my childhood dream of joining the United States Air Force. Now that we've talked briefly about my college years, let's move into my current status as an active duty service member. On March 10, 1999, I departed the Fort Hamilton Military Entrance Processing Station in Brooklyn, New York, bound for the United States basic training facilities at Lackland Air Force Base in Texas for 6 weeks. After completing boot camp and technical training in Texas, I received orders to travel to Tyndall Air Force Base in Florida to begin my journey in the Security Forces career field. I would spend the next 7 years calling Panama City, Florida home until receiving orders to Ramstein Air Base in Germany on a 4-year tour beginning in June of 2008. In August of 2013, after completing a year-long tour in Afghanistan, my family and I will move to the island of Okinawa and discover what Japan has to offer. Overall, the military has been great to me and my family, and I wouldn't change my decision to join 13 years ago for anything. Now that we've gone over a small fraction of my life, of what my life has been in the military, let's journey back and go over everything I've spoken with you about tonight. Tonight you learned about my early years growing up in New York City, my brief stay at Lehman College, and finally my decision to join the United States Air Force. I hope you all have a better understanding of where I come from and where I've been. Thank you for your attention, and good night.